to my channel again for another weekly video, and I'm back with another DIY because I feel like I haven't done one of these in such a long time, and I always love filming these videos and then mainly using the end products as well, because I'm always doing DIYs that I'll want to use as well. And I'm also back in this corner of my room with these lights going on because I feel like I haven't filmed here in a little while either, so I thought, you know what, why not do another sort of video over here, because I don't even know what I last filmed over here. But today I'll be making two different highlighters for you, one which is a more powdered highlighter and the other one is a more of a cream type highlighter. And what's so great about both of these is that each of them only needs 2 ingredients, so they are so simple and quick and easy to make, and that's why I'm loving them. If you enjoy this video, be sure to smash that thumbs up, and let's get straight into making these highlighters. So I'm going to start by making the powdery highlighter, and what you need for this is an empty kind of pot. It could be an old makeup pot, or you could use one of these little pots like I've got, which I actually found in Primark amongst their sort of travel set of bottles. We get loads of like 100ml bottles. Then you'll also need an old eyeshadow or a cheap eyeshadow or anything like that you've got that's kind of like a shimmery one. So I've got this sort of pearly white one to use for the first highlighter, which I just found in my local supermarket. And then you'll also need some antiseptic alcohol, or I believe as you call it in America, rubbing alcohol. So to begin with, you just want to take your first eyeshadow and start to just kind of break it apart, so crumble it up. I'm just using this sort of sharp pointed nail tool, but anything that is sort of sharp like this will do, and you want to try and break it up into little crumbs as much as possible. This is why you want to use either an old eyeshadow or a cheap one that you just buy in a supermarket like I have, as you don't really want to wreck a really nice eyeshadow. You then just want to start transferring some of it into your little container. Once you've then got a decent amount in your pot, you just want to keep going at it to try and remove as many lumps as possible. Once you feel like you've got it fairly lump free, you then just want to take your alcohol and just add little by little so that you don't add too much, and then keep mixing it in. Then just keep mixing until all the eyeshadow pigment has been absorbed into the alcohol mixture, and you kind of want this sort of almost like wet sand, I guess, texture, and just keep mixing until all the eyeshadow has been blended in. Then just to evenly spread it out in the pot, the best idea is just to bang it on the table a few times so that the whole pot is evenly covered. Once it's evenly spread out, you then just want to take a piece of tissue and lightly dab it on top to remove any of the excess alcohol. After dabbing it with tissue, you can then just put it aside and leave to dry, and when it sets, it will be a powder-like consistency. For the second one, which is going to be the more cream highlighter, again you'll need an empty container of some sort, another eyeshadow to use. So I have got this one again from the supermarket, and it is a shimmery kind of gold champagne colour, which I think is going to turn into a beautiful highlighter to give a more bronzy kind of highlighter colour. And then you'll also need some white body lotion for this one. If it's scented like this one, that's just a kind of bonus. Your highlighter will smell nice, but it doesn't really matter as long as it's just white so it doesn't interfere with the colour of the highlighter. So once again, you just want to start with breaking down your highlighter, not your highlighter, your eyeshadow into crumbs like you did with the first one, making sure to try and break it down into smallest pieces as possible. And as you break it down, gradually just add it little by little to your pot. Then once again, when you feel like you've got a decent amount in your pot, you'll just need to keep mixing it around and breaking it up as small as possible. Just to give you an idea of how much powder I actually used, I ended up using the whole of this eyeshadow palette. So yeah, it also depends mainly on the size of your container really, but just to give you an idea, that's how much I am currently using. Once you're happy with how it's looking and broken up, this time you then want to add some body lotion instead of adding alcohol, and once again just add this little by little until it becomes the right kind of consistency. once again, when it has a kind of wet sand consistency, this one, as it is thicker due to the body lotion, it's harder to sort of bash it down, but you've just got to try and package it down with the tool that you are using. So once you're happy with how you've managed to package it down, you can then start using this highlighter straight away. As it is a cream textured one, you don't need to let it dry. So I've now got both of the finished highlighters here. I was just waiting for the paler, more sort of ivory shimmery white one to dry. I would say that you should leave it probably for a good 24 hours to let it fully dry. It'll depend really on your ratio of eyeshadow powder and alcohol that you've got in there. Will affect how long it actually takes for it to dry. So I would say leave it for at least a good day. It might dry sooner or it might take a little bit longer. So when these are finished, I was so excited to try them out that I've already applied them to my face. So firstly, the cream eyeshadow, which is the more sort of bronzed champagne toned one, I have applied to this side of my face. And as you can see, it gives such a nice bronze toned highlight that I am absolutely loving. And the other one, which was the more paley, white ivory, shimmery, sort of ice white, I'm loving all these descriptive words coming out here. That was the powder highlighter I've applied to this side of my face, and as you can see, this gives a more sort of bright ice white kind of glow. So I love the contrast of both these highlighters, and I'm so happy that I went with two kind of very different colours, because depending on my mood then I'll have two different options, and yeah, I'll definitely be making great use of these. I'll now do some swatches of these so that you can see what they look like better closer up. So as you can see, this one is the pale whiter ivory one, which was the powder highlighter, and then this is the more bronzy one that was the cream highlighter. And as you can see, they're both such stunning, beautiful colours, and they're very pigmented. I'm so happy with how these have turned out. They're so beautiful. I'll definitely be using them. I mean, you can really see from the fingers that I used to apply them just how pigmented they are. They are so stunning. So that was my DIY for you today. I really do hope you enjoyed it. As I was saying, I love filming these kind of DIY videos. Let me know if you'd like to see any more DIYs and what DIYs you'd like to see in the future down below in the comments. Be sure to smash that thumbs up if you did enjoy this video. Also tweet me your pictures if you do have a go at making them, or comment down below and let me know what kind of shades you go for, if they work out for you and if you like it and all that. My Twitter is always linked down below, so feel free to tweet me your pictures. Also, don't forget there's that subscribe button down there. If you are new to my channel, welcome, and I hope you enjoyed your first video. I would love you forever if you did click that subscribe button. I will be sure to see you next week with another weekly video. Bye!